It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, you can see I have a bongo drum sitting on a chair here on my set. Stay tuned. I'm going to use it in today's episode. Don't let it distract you. But today we're going to go through the Sharp financials. Folks, this is kind of exciting. I get to say, let me get on the Sharp magic board and talk about the Sharp financials. But folks, there's some magic stuff happening over there at Sharp. You know, folks, we'll get this verified, but I want to throw it out there. I heard this rumor that IDC just said that Sharp shipped more units than Konica Minolta. Sharp shipped more units than Konica Minolta. That, my friends, calls for the drum roll. That's pretty awesome, and I'm sure they're really excited over there at Sharp. And that fact will play into today's episode because I have a special surprise toward the end. So make sure you stick around, folks, because we're going to make a big announcement. The end of the day with Ray is going to scoop all of the analysts. We're going to scoop the industry's media because, you know, at the end of the day, we got a lot of people watching this show. And I thought, why don't I make a big announcement? Why don't I shake things up a little bit? And folks, when you see what I'm going to announce today, you're going to be, some of you might be surprised. Some of you know it's something that's been coming. So without any further ado, let's jump on the Sharp Interactive board and go through the Sharp numbers. Top line number, $19.3 billion. Fantastic for Sharp. $19.3 billion. That's all their business units in the conglomerate. Operating profit of $655 million, 3.4%. Sharp, like all my other friends, we got to get operating profit up into the double digits, okay? We need 10% operating profit. I know that sounds crazy, but we need to get there. These are tough times that we're in, and the OEMs, they have to start cutting costs like they've never cut costs before. And they got to start figuring out how to streamline operations, how to do all the things that increase operating profit. The yen at its weakest point in over 30 years. Folks, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, and we got to control those costs. But folks, let's look at the place that we all call home, that 8K Ecosystems. Top line revenue of $4.4 billion, profit 4.4% for $193 million. Again, let's give them a little drum roll. Making money. It's all about making money, right? Again, we got to increase that operating profit. So y'all work harder on that part of it. Got to get there, okay? But you know, I was looking at the entire conglomerate and all of their business units. They all made money. They all made operating profit over there at Sharp. Let's do another little drum roll. Congratulations, Sharp. I mean, you know, every single division. I mean, I don't know if y'all saw this or not. I don't want to pick on Konica too much, but at the end of the day, did you see what happened over there in their healthcare diversification? It wasn't really good. I just recently read where Ricoh is going to get into the pharmaceutical business. I think they're getting too far outside their core competencies, and they're doing things that just don't even make any sense, to be honest with you. At first, I thought, you know, maybe some of these diversifications were kind of cool, but I'm starting to think that they got to have some sense, right? It's kind of what I like about Sharp. All their divisions kind of work together. You know, it's consumer products. It's about stuff behind glass, which I really like about Sharp, because we all know more and more information is consumed behind glass than ever before. And Foxconn being the owner of Sharp, that's a good place to be. But again, congratulations to the whole Sharp team. Now let's talk about some of the details in the numbers. So we will talk about their impairment. They took an impairment loss of $175.5 million. And impairment losses are our business strategies, folks. But when I look at impairment losses, I look at the reasons they describe. Here's something I don't like to see. Impairment losses against accounts receivables. That's not a good thing. Impairment losses because we had a dream that we were going to do something, and what we dreamed we were going to do, we're never going to accomplish. We finally realized it, so we got to write off all that goodwill. Those aren't really good impairment losses. When the impairment losses are around furniture and, you know, maybe some factories or consolidation of divisions or whatever, that kind of makes some sense. And so at the end of the day, $175.5 million in impairment losses are Sharp. But here's what I will tell you. Sharp's sitting on $1.9 billion in cash. So cash and cash equivalents, $1.9 billion. You know, our friends over at Kyocera, by the way, their cash and cash equivalents are, I believe it's really close to $3 billion. So that's good. Cash is king, right? Cash is king. But here's something I noticed when Sharp was talking about their forecast. You know, the OEMs, they finish out their year, they forecast for the next one. They're saying, let's put that on hold. They're showing some discipline. Let's not just throw some numbers on a sheet of paper and hope we all hit it. we're in some tough climate times. We're not going to start forecasting until we get a better handle on this. And I think that's a smart play. And so we'll see what those numbers are when they come out. But they're putting some thoughts into this. And folks, I'm telling you right now, during these trying times that we're in, it's going to take bold leadership, extreme discipline, and the ability to cut costs to survive in this climate. But ladies and gentlemen, today is the day. This is the big announcement. So, the old thinking was, and I've talked about this before, when people talked about the main 5 OEMs, it was Canon, Ricoh, HP, and Konica, and our friends over at Xerox. I made some big changes to this thinking, and I believe that I have the position to be able to go ahead and change the marketplace's thinking. So, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll if you will, here is the new changes. The first thing I'm going to do is we are calling Xerox the world's largest dealer. That's how they're going to be recognized on the end of the day with Ray from this point forward. I've talked about this before, but you all need to get your heads around this. Xerox, not an OEM. Okay? Other people make stuff for them. They put their name on it. They go out in the market and sell it. They make a couple of things, but at the end of the day, any one of these OEMs would love to be able to have Xerox's huge worldwide platform selling their products. But the new big 5, that's what I want to talk about, folks, because I made these big changes. It's going to be Sharp, Kyocera, Ricoh, Canon, and HP. Konica is no longer to be considered one of the big 5 on the end of the day with Ray or the platform, because at the end of the day, Sharp and Kyocera earn the right to be in that space. They earn the right to be in that space. They're continuing to grow. And I mean, this is some big news, according to IDC, that Sharp delivered more units than Konica. I mean, that's a reason in itself for them to take the place. So that's really exciting news. But ladies and gentlemen, we can't have this kind of I mean, I'm sure the other media is going to pick this up. The guy with the ball cap, he'll probably, call me up and say, hey, can I put your video that you did today on my blog? Patricia, she'll probably want to talk about this. Frank Canada probably have a Fridays with Frank talking about this. This is big news, folks, and I'm so excited that I was able to scoop it. But the OEM Big 5, going forward, from this day forward, at Sharp, Kyocera, Ricoh, Canon, and HP, we're going to recognize Xerox as the largest dealer in the world, delivering products to end users that they supply and service. This is fantastic big news. I put a special slide together, a congratulatory slide. Folks, Sharp, Kyocera, when you see these folks in the marketplace, give them a high five, congratulate them, because they're doing some things that are pretty tough to do during these trying times, but they're accomplishing them because they're bold, they got good leaders, and they don't just dream about things. They make sure what they dream about, they have a path toward that dream. Because, folks, everybody watching me knows this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.